Hello everyone, Namaste. So this is next question in SQL50 series. Find customer referee. We have been given a table customer. It has column names, ID, name and reference ID. So we need to find the names of all those customers which are not referred by the customer with ID equals to 2. So let's see. You need to print all those names which doesn't have the referral ID, referee ID equals to 2. So let's write the condition. The condition will be, I'll just switch to my pen. So the condition will be referee ID not equals to 2. This is not equal to sign in SQL. So let's see which are the things which in this table are. Like you just make one corresponding temporary table column. Let's say flag. Okay. So referee ID is 2 years. So this condition will be false. Referee ID is 1 year, so this condition gets true. This is true. Now considering nulls, in null basically it doesn't go to condition, it just gives you unknown value if you try to compare it with any condition. So this is unknown value for null, this is false, this is unknown and this is unknown, and it won't get, they won't get printed also, the unknowns won't get printed. So if you write here with this condition, only you'll get the output as this one, this true one, and these all will get skipped. Let's try this once. So select name from customer where referee ID is not equals to 2. Let's run this. So as I said, it will only print Zach because the condition was true there. And for other things, you needed to you need to print the null also, right? So let's see how we can do that. There are two methods to do this. So as you can see, the referee ID was int, and since this is null, it can't be compared to int sort of thing. That's why it came as integer, sorry, unknown. So just first method will be to just explicitly mention that you need null also, and see, this referee ID should not be equals to 2, or it should be equal to null. Okay, or it can be null. So or referee ID is null. So let's compare this. The first one will become true because this second condition is true. This is referee ID is not equal to 2. This won't get considered. It will become unknown because we are comparing integer with some null value. So this will become unknown. Then or, and referee ID is not is null. So this will become true because unknown or true becomes true. So this will become true, this will become true, this will become false, this will become true, this will become true, this will become false. And if you try to run it now, you'll get the answer. Yeah. So this got accepted with all the outputs and expected values. So this was method 1. Next can be method 2, which is using coalesce function. Now what is coalesce function? Coalesce function is nothing but if you just put multiple values here, 1, 2, null, 5. So what it does is it gives you the output as the first not null value. What do I mean by that? So coalesce of this will give you the output as 1 because this is the first not null value. If I just replace it with null, what it will give? It will give you 2 as the value now. If you just replace it by null again, it will give you 5 as the output now. So how can we use that here? We can just convert these null values to something which won't overlap with other values of int. So let's make it -1 or something. So I'll just write where coalesce of referee ID. So why I'm writing this, I'll explain you. If the referee ID is not null, it means 2, 1 or 2, it will give the output as whatever the value it is. But if you have this null. In case the referee ID is null, you need to output one value, right? So let's take it as -1 because you need to compare it with 2, right? So this. So how is it working? Let's go. So let's take this Alex2. This will become 2 itself because coalesce of 2 comma -1 will give 2 because 2 and -1 both are not null values and it will output 2. So 2 is not equals to 2. So this condition 2 is not equals to 2 is false basically, right? Because 2 is equal to 2. So yeah, that is the first thing. But if the null comes up, so coalesce of null -1, the -1 will get outputted. So -1 is not equals to 2. Yeah, this is true. So this will give you the output required. Let's test it. Yeah, this got accepted. Submit it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see the Python code. I'll just, for ease of my writing, I'll just copy the customer to my df data frame. Now, time to write the condition. In my first video, I've explained you how to write condition, what is binary indexing, and how LOC work. So we'll follow both the methods here, binary indexing method and the LOC method. So let's write the condition first. Always write the condition in this brackets. So first condition is that your referee ID will not be equal to 2. So to get the column, you write df, and in single inverted commas, you write the name of the column. So it is referee ID not equals to 2. In Python, you write not equals to as this. Okay, so this is your condition. So the column which is not equal to 2 will be given, right? But here also null error will come just like in SQL, but that will consider later. Let's write first. So df.loc, and the syntax for this is df.loc. You write row conditions here, row conditions, and column name here, column name. So you already have the conditions here, which you'll just replace it directly. Condition and the column name, which you need to mention. If you write it without these square brackets, then it will be a series. You need to output the data frame here. That's why you write it in a single square bracket. So you write the column name as name and you return answer. It will give you same error because you're just considering the single 2 value condition and not the null ones. So see, you're getting again the Zach. These are again getting ignored. So the best thing is you just mention the same condition as you mentioned in SQL case, or you'll write. That's why I told you to use these brackets because there is a or condition. So df again referee ID. Now you want those conditions to be true where the referee ID is either not equal to 2 or is it's null. So to find the null, you can't just write equals to null or equals to null. You need to write is null. Okay, now run it. You wrote these two conditions. If it's not equal to 2 or if it's null, then it will become true and it got accepted. This was df.loc method. You can also write it. Let's first submit it and let's see. Yeah, this is correct. So you can also write or use the binary indexing method here. Let's see how. So what is binary indexing method? Basically, when I wrote true, false, unknown in this case, you might have remembered it in this video only at the earlier starting phase. So it will print only those columns which have true values here. So let's see how. This is correct. This is the condition is same as the LOC method. You need to write df. First, let's write the column name. So you'll require df name to be printed. But if you write this df name, then it will print a series, and series means a single column. You need to print an Excel sheet with basically one column. That is the difference between a series and a data frame with one column. So you need to mention one more square bracket here so that it becomes an Excel sheet sort of. I'm just taking an analogy, an Excel sheet with one column. So this, and then you write the conditions in this case. So you can directly just use condition variable here, and then you can run it. This will give you a data frame which has name in it and all the output in it. So you can submit it just to see the values or the test cases. Yeah, it passed everything. So thank you very much.